Good evening and welcome to the Post Cafe. This is where artists come alive. Spoken word brings forth the inner creations of hidden treasures, expressing tones of lyrics felt within the soul, a vibration that brings stories untold. This platform represents artists of all backgrounds, be it writers, singers, spoken word, artistic expressions and painting, literature, poetry, and a journey through life. Mystery seeks to bring new ideas and opportunities through the mind at all levels. Wherefore my mind leaving tomorrow on the wings of yesterday, where birds fly higher than the mystery of dreams never knew. Why do mellow sounds ring silently without ever leaving memories of my lonely blues? We walk by the calls of nature, sing in harmony, pray for the love of the sky, and dance with the stars like a feminine ballerina gazing across the stage in her soft-toed ballerina shoes. Welcome to the Artists of Poetry Cafe show, Poetically Speaking, hosted by Terry Benjamin and Ronald C. McCray. As delighted as we are, we can't wait to engulf a new wave of presenting this platform to our audience. So sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let's get started.
Let's get started. This is the Poetically Speaking, the place for the spoken word, with yours truly, Terry Benjamin, and my brother here, Ronald C. McCray. But before we actually get into the program, I just want to take a moment to reflect on something that we were involved in yesterday. We had opportunity to go to the Morning Star Church, and they have a program there, and it's called the SEAT program, the SEAT training program. And SEAT, C-E-E-T, stands for Center for Employment, Education, and Training. And this is a program. Director is Jacqueline Jenkins, and she is really with her partner, Jess Petion, and together these women have really done some great things in terms of presenting classes and GED certification, a career success program, computer basics, introduction to AI, home health aid, and ESL certification, English in action. And I really want to take a moment just to commend them for doing this great service for the community. This is a program that we had the women on our programs not too long ago. And Ron, I'm just so happy to see that they've taken their vision and they put some action behind it. And yesterday we actually were at a ribbon cutting for this particular program. So what do you think? What's your thought about that?
And you know, actually you're right on point, because that's what we try to engage, a collaboration of the community, people. You know, we invite people, we participate in the studio as well as outside. So they're doing a marvelous job. They had opened up the door for opportunity for those who are seeking a new career, a new pathway in life, to come out, get trained, retrain, no matter how you look at it. You're not too young, you're not too old. The bottom line is, are you awake to open up that door now, to go out that door, to seek that opportunity for somebody such as them? And we always say our sisters, sisters in the community are doing a wonderful job.
That's right. And again, for those who might have interest in the program, there is a phone number that I'll give out to you. It's 732-619-3658. And that is the SEAT program, Center for Employment, Education, and Training. And you can contact either Jacqueline or Jess. But I just wanted to get that out there because, again, I think it's important. But we're here with another new program and some new energy because, again, we're really talking about some interesting things today. And so today's agenda is living on purpose. Our habits are us. And I want to amplify that by giving you the quote of the day. And the quote of the day is, we first make our habits, then our habits make us. And that's from John Dryden, an English poet and literary critic. We first make our habits, then our habits make us. And I think that's so important, Ron, because, again, really, I know for myself, I have a certain routine and certain things that I do in the morning. And one of the things that I talk about, and it's made a difference in my life and my career, I talk about developing the habit of literacy, which is going beyond reading and writing. And what I suggest that you begin your day doing 5 things, and this will definitely make you a better student and make you a better person. And so the 5 things that I encourage you to do is develop this habit of literacy, and I do this myself. Every day I do these 5 things. And number 1 is read. Read something. Read a book, read a essay, read an email, whatever. Read something, okay? So number 1, read. Number 2 is write. Write a reply to the email. Write a poem. Write an essay. Write a book. And I believe that reading and writing goes together. And number 3, talk. Have a conversation with someone, sharing a positive communication. And number 4 is listen. I always say that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth because he wanted to listen twice as much as we speak. And then number 5 is view. I had opportunity on Prime Video. I actually watched the Broadway production of Hamilton, the whole 2 hour and 45-minute production on my TV screen via Prime Video. And one of the things that I also suggest is that, when you're expanding your literacy, and last week, Ron, I said there was this gentleman named Charles Tremendous Jones who said the 2 things that are going to make a big difference in your life are the books you read and the people that you meet. And one of the things about podcasting, it seems like everybody has a podcast. And although I have a podcast, I still study other podcasts. As a matter of fact, I begin my day when I wake up. The first thing I do is I grab my Kindle, I put it on my chest, and I listen to about 2 or 3 hours of podcasts. What I'm going to share with you very briefly is a podcast where they actually feature Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God from the Breakfast Club. And again, I don't always agree with what he says, but he's been in business for a long time, back in the 1990s. And again, the Breakfast Club is one of the most successful podcasts on the podcast universe. And so he was interviewed, and he shared this, and I want to share this with you and also our community. Because, I always say that most men want peace, okay, peace. And I said for myself personally, when I say peace, I say passion, excellence, attitude, creativity, and expectations. And that was my interpretation of peace. But as Charlemagne the God was being interviewed, and he came up with another definition for peace. As a matter of fact, he came up with an acronym, and the acronym is PEACE. P is for positive, E is for energy, A is for activates, C is for constant, and E is for elevation. So what he says is that positive energy activates constant elevation. Positive energy activates constant elevation. So again, rising higher. And I believe that what we do on this program is to help you develop a higher consciousness. We bring you books, we bring you ideas, because we want you to be elevated along with us. Because again, I think every day you should be looking to make yourself better than you were the day before. And that really means you have to engage with people, places, and things that are going to help you do that. And that's why, I really put a lot of effort to the program before we come on the air, because it's just so many things that I want to share with you, because so many things I'm listening. So again, please remember, and I want to say this again because I want this in your mind, positive energy activates constant elevation. And with that said, we can go on. And so, as always, it gives me great pleasure to introduce one of the segments of our program. And we, sometimes I think I want to say Rod's Poetry Corner, but no, it's Ron's Poetry, okay? So this is Ron's Poetry. It gives his brother a chance to stretch out. And he's always creative. He was sharing with me before we came on the air a poem that he wrote that I said, what? Man, what were you thinking when you came with that, But hopefully we'll have time for him to share it with you. But again, I present Ron's Poetry.
A couple of things. First of all, let me show you this.
Please.
telling yourself the truth. No matter how you look at it.
Truth,
telling
the
yourself
truth,
the truth. You know, so even as a topic of the day, it's all about telling yourself the truth. And I want to read something out of there just in short.
Mm-hmm.
And even with Charlemagne, which is true, knowing somebody's history, I listened to it one day, and he gave a background of his history, knowing where he come from, what he been through to where he's at today. And that's what's important we try to say. It's a starting point. Had it not been for, where would you be? Where would you be had it not been for? You know, so that's important. Let me say this, a couple of things.
Yes, please.
No, let me read this in short, and I'll come back. Because this is important. It kind of ties into misbelief in self-talk. Do you talk yourself out of something, or you influence yourself to move forward to create something?
Yes.
And the pastor, Dr. Evans, always say, even this morning, you get better, you move forward, you go higher, no matter how you look at it.
Right. Elevate.
Getting stronger, getting better, going forward, and going higher, just like you said. And that's what's important. What are you doing that all of a sudden you're sitting around just moaning and groaning and whatnot, complaining about what? And that's one of the things I'm coming back to about complaining. But let me read this right quick. It's a lot, but I don't want to take up too much time. You know, the words we say to ourselves. Self-talk means the words we tell ourselves in our thought. It means the words we tell ourselves about people, self, experience, life in general, God, the future, the past, the present. It is specifically all of the words you say to yourself all of the time. What are the lies and half-truth you repeat to yourself? Which belief keeps you unhappy and upset? First, you must learn how to identify the misbelief in your life. Where do the lies and misbeliefs start? The answer to that is in your self-talk. Now, you know, that's just in short, and there's a lot because it gives an example of the young lady. But let's look at this as an example. The average and a large percentage of people in general, when you find yourself repeating your own conversation, you talk yourself out of an opportunity. So here's where misery loves company. Somebody else come and say, I agree with it. I wouldn't do this. So now you got company to talk yourself that you already talked yourself out of moving forward, creating something that will take you higher. So self-talking, you start to believe it becomes part of who you are.
Yes.
And the pastor was also saying you become your own prison inside. We talk about that all the time. You know, it starts from the inside. Who are you on the inside? Do you even know who you are?
Wow.
Forget standing in the mirror talking about, I know who I am.
Man in the mirror.
Did you do a self-examination of all of your internal organs, your spirit, your emotion, your state of mind? That's what's important. Where is freedom in you? And we talk about this all the time. How do we collaborate? How do we move forward?
Exactly.
Whether it's music or the lyrics of something or writing poetry. I wrote a couple of things this morning. So even as Terry mentioned, you know, reading, I'm writing something. I'm thinking about something. Or you listen to something. Or you responding to something. Who are you? Do you talk yourself, well, I don't know how to do it. Well, it ain't gonna matter. Nobody listen to me anyhow. Well, guess what? Like we always said, you know, when you talk yourself out of something, somebody else rolls up in the spotlight. They come here and tell what, and they don't have a clue who you are. You know, but they telling your story, and now you're mad.
That's right. That's my idea.
That's my idea. Well,
you took my stuff.
You took my stuff. And so what's important as we continue to move forward in today, we're going to come back and forth for a lot of different things. So I have a couple of pieces I want to read, but I wanted to read that first.
That's important.
Telling yourself the truth, no matter how you look at it. You know, and if you're not telling yourself, listen to somebody who's repeating to you that you're repeating yourself. I heard you say that before. And here's the last thing. I know quite sure everybody have somebody call them and tell them about somebody else's stuff that has nothing to do with you.
That's right.
But they don't have anything to inspire you, to influence you to do something better. You know, the average don't influence something positive. They complain about everything that has nothing to do with whatever it is. So you kill your own dream by listening to that mess. So what's important, and it comes back to telling yourself, you know, you talk yourself out of opportunities. we reach out to you. Come on the show, talk to us, and listen to your comments. Tell us something new. Because again, we're not here to repeat and hear ourselves. We constantly presenting to you something new. That's right. So that's what's important.
That's right. That's what we call food for thought. And with Charlemagne the God, he's written 2 books, and a lot of his books deal with mental health and mental health issues. And so he's put himself out there so you can benefit. And before we move on, brother, I just want to look at that title of the book. Is it Telling Yourself the Truth? You know, you got to be honest with yourself, because that is what's going to push you forward in your life. So again, please, you know, we bring this program to you as a public service, because we want you to be good. I mean, whatever we want for ourselves, we want twice as much for you.
Let me read this. Murmuring and complaining. Murmuring and complaining about it without understanding the real reason behind your confusion. Where there is no vision or trust, my people perish. Perish into the shadows of darkness, a place where ignorance dwells, a place where there is no understanding of what life holds if you believe.
That's right. That's right.
Why do so many people walk away murmuring without asking questions for clarity, as if they don't understand the purpose of changing their lives for the better and thriving through change, instead of remaining trapped in clouds of darkness and confusion?
Yes. Yes.
Why do people complain, walk away, only to come back seeking answer to what they ignored and listen to the right way of living? How does one find purpose in life without first understanding where or in what direction to take before moving forward? Even with oneself, do you have the answer for what is needed to serve the purpose of a meaningful life? Too often, confusion leads to distraction because people act on impulse without trusting their inner sense of truth. What is the truth, and how does one define it? Confusion is a state of the unknown, a place without purpose, where there is no substance or cause to give it meaning. A world of darkness, a realm without beginning or end, simply drifting in emptiness with no light to see or mind to question its location. So, how does one even exist? And what is the purpose of having life if it lacks substance or meaning? What is murmuring, and why do people murmur? Without first opening up to some sense of reasoning, murmuring does not clarify confusion. Otherwise, why would anyone walk away in discontent rather than try to understand the truth of something? Too often, people complain without first trying to understand the issue, and only gain the ability to act after they have gained an understanding. This helps prevent the destruction caused by self-ignorance. One will complain about someone suffering from ignorance rather than providing the antidote of truth to fix the problem before it spreads towards death. There is no point of return for healing once the understanding of the statement or subject is lost. A mind is a terrible organ to lose or destroy. And so when I say death, and again, this has nothing to do, unfortunately, with those physically, but we talk about when you death to your own dreams, death to yourself, the self-talk you deny, and all that my brother and myself always present to you. You know, it's about the vision. Where there's no vision, my people perish. So the question is, you walk away complaining. And matter of fact, here, and sure, it just hit me. When Jesus talked to, and I think it was Nicodemus, if I recall, but correct me if I'm wrong, you know, who talked about, you know, giving up all your possession and follow me. He walked away scratching his head. He figured because he was rich and wealthy, he gave to the people, but it wasn't about that. Where's your heart to willing to give it up for a greater and higher level of your wealth and treasure, not only in heaven, but here on earth? You deny yourself because you talk away because you don't want to give up what you already have. And you have to ask yourself, is it growing? Did you cultivate anything? No. Matter of fact, when you looked at it last, it had some mold on it, let the truth be told, or some dust or something. But the bottom line is telling yourself the truth. Grow. think, and grow rich.
Oh, yes. And also, when you talk to yourself, make it positive. You have so many people beating you down. You don't need to join the party. Les Brown once said that, talking to yourself might be the best conversation you have that day. Because you know what you want. You know what you need. So speak positive into yourself. The Bible says about the tongue, man, the tongue is a small organ, but it has a great impact. So be careful. And if you make a mistake, keep it going. Les Brown also said that if you fall down, make sure you fall down on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. So this is words of wisdom from Les Brown, who I consider a mentor. I never met the man, but I read everything that I could from him, and also I read all his books. So Ron, again, I like that particular poem because, again, that for me is a meditation. Sometimes people think meditation is just sitting someplace and staring at the wall. No, meditation is focusing on an idea, a thought, a feeling. And so that poem that he read, really, as I listened to it, I almost wanted to close my eyes and meditate on that message. Okay, you can even have a walking meditation. When I walk every day, and so when I'm walking, sometimes I'm thinking about some things. Sometimes my mind is just clear. But the point I'm making is that we have to focus, and we will never tire of saying, think and grow rich.
And no matter how you look at it, and I agree with you, because I ride my bike to the park.
Yeah.
And when I go to the park, I automatically, matter of fact, when I leave the house, I pray before I leave the house. When I leave the house, I ask for his guidance and his safety and protection over me.
Yes.
Once I go to the park, I go into his sanctuary. So there's absolutely no reason whatsoever under the sun that you cannot meditate on something, because every single thing all around you is something for you to think and feel positive.
Yes.
The sun, the moon, the stars, the bird, the bees, the leaves, the trees, and everything above all that God has created is for you to think and read or create a poetry, painting, or something. There's no reason, there's no excuse whatsoever. But see, the only way you fail that is because, well, woe is me. I'm tired. I don't want to I want to walk. You don't even want to get up and go to the restroom. The bottom line is because you're too lazy. The thing is, you get up and utilize that energy. You rejuvenate. You cultivate the energy. Stretch. Everybody who's into health and wellness, tell you to stretch. Breathe. Open up your lungs. Let the freshness come in. And with that, now something automatically positive is going to enter to you. Now you start thinking, oh, wow, I didn't think of that. Because everything that, as my brother was saying, that you think about is not negative, but it's another pathway and direction for you to say, wow, I can write about, you can write about negative stuff. But you find yourself writing and reading and being creative to tell a story.
That's right.
How many people around you complain about everything and won't write nothing, won't read anything, but they complain?
That's right. All right. And just writing something down is a form of meditation, because you're putting your thoughts on paper. And I know for myself, it's like when you're looking at law, okay, in the language of law, when you sign a contract. It could be a verbal contract, but a written contract makes it even stronger, okay? You can say something verbally, and then somebody asks you if you said it, well, no. But if you write it down, it makes it a lot more serious. That's why I tell you, I believe in miracles. And when I walk through Broadway around and I see the new buildings going up, I remember they're building an Italian restaurant in Broadway. I remember one day I walked by and they just had a stoop. I said, wow, what that's going to be, And I kept on walking. Every time I walked by, it would expand. And now it's a full-fledged restaurant. And it just started from that little stoop. For me, that's a miracle. I walk to my bank. I live in Broadway. The bank is in Linden. I walk to the bank. As I'm walking up St. George Avenue, to my right, there's 3 townhouses with garages. And not too long ago, that was just a field of mud and dirt. But now it's a building, and the same thing with your hopes and your dreams and your visions. It's here, but it becomes a miracle when you go to do that thing. And I believe that there are everyday miracles. And one of the everyday miracles is making yourself a better person. And with that, I say every day you go to do the 5 things to develop your literacy, but also every day ask yourself, as you're lying in bed, as you're waiting for sleep to take you, ask yourself, what did I do to improve my mind? What did I do to improve my body? What did I do to improve my spirit? Those are 3 easy things that you can do. And I'm saying to you, today's program, the agenda is living on purpose. Our habits are us.
You know, and we have a book, and matter of fact, Dr. Evans was on our show. Mm-hmm. What are the leading causes of life? Every single human being, mm-hmm. at the sound of our voice and our, presence, mm-hmm. has senses. That's right. Do you use your senses? I count 5, might be 6. Some of them have some other senses. I don't know. They lost some senses. But the bottom line is,
supernatural
senses. You see, breathe, hear, taste, and feel. That's right. All of those things. And you can become a writer, a poet, a reader if you take the opportunity and identify just one element. Right. What is it? What does it mean? What purpose does it serve? Mm-hmm. Ask yourself, mm-hmm. what purpose do you serve? That's right. Because if you think you serve no purpose, you talk yourself out of life. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, then why are you taking up somebody else's space for the opportunity to be something or somebody? Yeah. See, that's what's important. You have senses. Mm-hmm. Utilize them. And I say this to those who are able or with the senses. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I also identify and respect those who have lost. Yeah. So I'm not talking about those who have lost against mm-hmm, their, mm-hmm. but the fact is, and there was a book, I presented, mm-hmm. a sister who was blind and deaf, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. but she had internal senses. She had internal sight. Yes. You have physical, mm-hmm. and you're blind about what you see. Mm-hmm. And that's what's important. Wake up. Who was it? Wake up, everybody.
Teddy Pendergrass. Wake up, everybody.
And Marvin Gaye said, what's going on?
What's going on? That's right. Right. and the thing is that there, and we'll get to a little later on, there are messages in the music. But I want to go on to the segment called Mind, Body, and Books. And again, as always, I try to bring you books that are relevant. And today I have 2 books by Willie Jolley. And again, this book is so timely. It's entitled Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks, 7 Secrets for Growing Up in Down Times. And this is from Willie Jolley, and this is like from 2010. Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks, 7 Secrets for Going Up in Down Times, Willie Jolley. And just to piggyback on what you were saying about self-talk, there's this scene in the book where Willie Jolley he traveled for a speaking engagement. And as he was sitting on the plane, he was kind of happy that he had the money, but he started thinking that, this money is already spent because I got paid this bill, and that bill. And so he was having a pity party. And again, I'm sure you're familiar with a pity party. And sometimes it's okay to have a pity party. I mean, just get it out of your system. And so he was sitting on the plane, and this is how the story unfolds. He says here, as I sat there having a pity party with myself, I started talking to an older gentleman across the aisle. He must have sensed that I was struggling, and during the conversation, he asked me a question that would have a profound impact on my life. He said, "Young man, how old do you think I am?" I looked at him and I said, "Well, I would say you're about 60. He smiled, took off his glasses, looked me right in the eyes and said, "Young man, I travel around the country speaking to people about health and wealth, and I do it every day. And I want you to know that I am 88 years old, and my best is yet to come." In that moment, everything changed for me. If an 88-year-old man could see that his best days were in front of him and not behind him, what in the world did I have to whine and cry about? If the 88-year-old man could have the kind of optimism, what was keeping me from my success? The answer was that the problem was me. I was waiting for success to come to me rather than going out and creating success for myself. Rather than waiting for people to call me, I needed to call them. rather than sitting in front of the fireplace shouting, "Give me heat." I needed to put something in the fireplace to create some heat. As I left the plane that day, I was a new person. I went home with a new attitude and a new optimism. I got on the phone and I started making sales calls and started to talk to more people about my business, and things started to change. That old gentleman was absolutely right. The best was yet to come. Many years have gone by since the man spoke those words into my life and encouraged me, and a lot has happened. I've had success as a speaker, success as an author, and success with radio and television. And I believe that this is just the tip of the iceberg of what is possible. I truly believe the best is yet to come, and I believe that your best is yet to come. The question is, do you believe it? Do you believe it? As you talk to yourself talk about the greatness that you can have, do you believe it? Do you believe that you can have that? And so that's one book from Dr. Willie Jolley. And this other book here, this is a book that he wrote. Is called An Attitude of Excellence. How the best organization get the best performance from the best people. And this is from Willie Jolley. And I just like to just share something from this book. And again, and my brother referenced to it, it's so funny how we are so in tune to each other, because sometimes he says things, I can finish his sentences, but and it's so funny because I marked this without even talking to him. But this is from the book, An Attitude of Excellence, and it's on chapter 8. It says here, first, let's explore what it means to wake up. Some years ago, Teddy Pendergrass sang a popular song whose lyrics compare sleeping with backwards thinking and waking up thinking ahead. If you are going to live life to the fullest, you must not allow yourself to settle for mediocrity. Instead, you must wake up to the tremendous possibilities that are available to you. You must wake up to the fact that you can actually live a life that is incredible and awesome, but that's up to you. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking. Time for thinking ahead.
Hey!
Forgive me for preaching. But again, we're in harmony because we have similar goals, and as we move through our program, week after week, we want to bring you things that are growing within us. Because I think one of the people talk about, well, what is the fountain of youth? Well, I think one of the pillars of the fountain of youth is constant elevation, constant learning. You're never too old to learn. You're talking about a man is 88 years old and talking about the best is yet to come. Now, 88, I mean, how much time you think he got left? 88, 88, 90. I mean, the scary thing, Ron, is that the life expectancy for a black man in America is 76. Now, I'm pushing up against that, so I'm a little nervous. But the point I'm making is that if you live your life on purpose, if you make all your habits positive, you can extend that lifetime. But not just extend it just to have those years, but extend it to make those years productive. Because again, I don't want to be here 80 and 90 and I can't get out of bed. I want to be here 80, 90, and whatever, but I want to make sure that I'm in my right mind and my right body and my right spirit. But it takes some work on your part, okay? It don't just happen.
Let me piggyback on that.
Please
you're
do.
On point. 88.
Ooh.
And as you indicated, 76. Well, even in the Bible, it talks about really 70.
Yeah.
But you look at people living beyond. I just read something, and I think it's recent. It was a lady from Tulsa, Oklahoma, at 111 years old. 111, still here in the right mind to tell the story that you and I cannot begin to experience or even comprehend what took place at that time. The movies and the books and the stories that they tell you cannot tell you, and excuse my friend, what the hell there was experienced at that time. And 111, she was a child, which means all hell was breaking loose. But let me say this and move on up.
Yeah, please, yes.
When I go to the park every day, there's a lot of people walking. There's this wonderful lady. And I'm going to say young lady. This young lady is 93 years old.
Oh, God bless
her.
She
walks every day at a pace that a lot of y'all won't even think about even walking. And she says, and she has the sweetest smile, the conversation. Her physical condition is one thing, but that's not the point. She said, I have to keep moving because, see, she has a situation on the inside of her that I cannot begin to comprehend. So there's no need for me to tell you about what she feels. But she says, I have to keep moving. She'll talk and have 93 years old. 93. She said, I have to. Otherwise, I'm in pain. So she doesn't stop. When she go home, she's constantly doing something. That in itself is writing a story. That in itself is writing a book. That in itself is telling poetry. That in itself is for you to listen, as we say all the time. Listen to somebody else's story. Listen to what they're not telling you. And you'll learn something if you just get up and move. Here's the other thing to tie into that.
Oh, my goodness. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not a promise. So what the heck are you doing today, in this moment, this second? Because an hour, you don't even know what's going to happen the next hour. Because unfortunately, we hear tragedy every second you turn on the news or somebody call you and say, did you hear what happened to such and such?
Yes.
We ain't talking about age. You don't have to be old.
No.
We talking about anywhere from a stillborn to somebody, unfortunate, suicide, homicide, whatever the case may be. Because a friend of mine called me the other day and told me about a personal friend that he knows who her daughter was murdered in front of the house and she didn't know anything about it. She was only 17. She didn't go to. She was in high school, 11th grade. So the question is, you have to be aware of all those things. And here's the last part. The OJs. Unity. We must have unity. No matter how you look at it. Do you have unity with yourself and with somebody else all around? This is what we talk about. Having unity. Try to have a collaboration because we're here to help and inspire others. And again, you can't go higher unless you get better. You can't get better unless you get stronger. You can't get stronger unless you think about who you are. And you can't think about who you are unless you have a vision. And if you don't have no vision, nothing else matters.
Oh, brother, you're preaching right now. The OJ said, together we stand, united we fall. There is a message in the music, which brings me to music is lit. And again, I always try to bring things that are relevant, things that are on my mind. And I was telling my brother, a lot of times when I'm doing this music is lit segment, these songs sort of come to me sort of when I'm relaxing. And this first song that I want to read for you is from 1967. And this was a year before I graduated from high school, but this was on the radio. And I didn't really understand this completely because I was a kid at that time. But the song is The Whole World is a Stage. And it's from a group called the Fantastic Four. And when I heard this on the radio, I said, man, this is smooth, and I really enjoyed it. But like the scriptures, this song was released in 1968. And now it's 2025. And for me, I have a different understanding and a different appreciation for this song. This song is based on a thought by William Shakespeare, and you know how far he's back. He said the whole world is a stage. And so they took that idea and they made a song out of it. And it goes like this. The whole world is a stage, and everybody's playing a part. The stage is set. The curtain goes up. The scene is a broken heart. Act 1. You told me you loved me. Act 1. A grand opening start. You read your lines so perfectly, like the words came straight from your heart, and I believed you. The whole world is a stage, and everybody's playing a part. Act 2. You forgot your makeup, and at last I saw the real you. Your heart was under your costume, but your eyes revealed we were through. And I believed you. The whole world is a stage, and everybody's playing a part. Act 3. You hear someone crying, but for me, it's a tragic end. But you made your exit with the saying I thought was my friend. Oh, sorry. You made your exit with the guy I thought was my friend. That's cold. And I believed you. Yeah. The whole world is a stage. Yes, it is, baby. And everybody's playing a part. But now that the act is all over, the whole world is a stage. I can see what everybody was saying. The whole world is a stage, and everybody's playing a part. And again, we talk about the world being a stage. We talk about things not being what they seem to be. And this song, my brother had mentioned it before, and then one of our community members, Kay Sweetness Jennings, she mentioned it as well. And this song is Tears of a Clown, and this is from Smokey Robinson, and this was also, ironically, in 1967. And so again, this is a classic, and again, Ron, the way this was set up is that Stevie Wonder came to Smokey with this track, this musical track. And Smokey heard it. He said, man, it sounds like some kind of circus music. And Smokey took the track, the musical track by Stevie Wonder, and he put words to it. And so again, this is a result of that collaboration. It's called Tears of a Clown, with music by Stevie Wonder, lyrics by Smokey Robinson. Now, if there's a smile on my face, it's only there trying to fool the public. Because when it comes down to fooling you, now, honey, that's quite a different subject. But don't let my glad expression give you the wrong impression. Really, I'm sad. Sad, sad, sad. Oh, sadder than sad. I'm hurt so bad. You're gone and I'm hurting so bad. I pretend to be glad. Like a clown, I pretend to be glad. Sad, sad, sad. Now, there's some sad things known to man, but ain't nothing too much sadder than the tears of a clown when there's no one around. Just like Pagliacci did, I try to keep my sadness hid, smiling in the public eye, but in my lonely room, I cry. The tears of a clown when there's no one around. Now, if there's a smile on my face, don't let my glad expression give you the wrong impression. Don't let the smile I wear make you think I don't care. When I really am sad, hurting so bad, crying all the time, tears of a clown when there's no one around. Again, Pagliacci was actually a historical figure. You know, he was a very famous and well-known clown, and he put on this makeup and made all the children and the people laugh. But inside, he was very sad. And so again, the tears of a clown. And the last song that I want to share with you, this song speaks to vision. And really, this started one of the greatest success stories in R&B music and popular music. And this was actually released in 1990. And this was the debut single from an album by Mariah Carey. And this song, Vision of Love, was a song that sort of shot her to a superstardom. And of course, he made other albums after that, but Vision of Love. And I remember when I first saw it, and I tell you, Ron, I think the first time I saw it was she was on the Arsenio Hall show, and I was wondering, is this girl black or white? Because the way she was singing, man, I said, wow, you know. And I found out, you know, she is of a mixed heritage, but her impact on the music scene was so powerful because she was a singer and a songwriter and really a great lyricist. And so this is Vision of Love. So again, everybody needs to have a vision. Maybe it's a vision of a better life for yourself, for your family, for our people. Maybe it's a vision of just for humanity. You know, we got to do better than we're doing right now, because right now it's very dark. But again, a vision. And so this is from Mariah Carey. This is Vision of Love. And she says here, treated me kind, sweet destiny, carried me through desperation to the one that was waiting for me. It took so long, still I believed somehow the one that I needed would find me eventually. I had a vision of love, and it was that you given to me. Prayed through the night, felt so alone, suffered from alienation, carried the weight on my own. Had to be strong, so I believed, and now I know I've succeeded, finding the place I conceived. I had a vision of love, and it was all that you've given me. I had a vision of love, and it was all that you've given to me. I realized a dream, and I visualized the love that come to be. Feel so alive. I'm so thankful that I received the answer that heaven has sent down to me. You treated me kind, sweet destiny, and I'll be eternally grateful, holding you so close to me. Prayed through the night so faithfully, knowing the one that I needed would find me eventually. I had a vision of love, and it was all that you've given to me. I had a vision of love, and it was all that you turned out to be. And so again, a vision of love, and hopefully that vision of love is shared by two people, because you have a lot of R&B songs about love does not return. Like one of the classic is Just My Imagination. You know, this was the last song that Eddie Kendricks actually recorded with Temptation before he went solo. And the song lyrics is that just my imagination running away with me. And the song tells a story because he's talking about this woman who was just beautiful and all the things that he wanted. But again, it wasn't real. It was just his imagination running away with me. And so again, we look at these three songs, and again, and it goes to the theme, living on purpose, having a vision. And sometimes that vision is really a result of your habits. If you are the habit of reading, writing, talking, listening, and viewing, that's a habit that's going to build you up. And that's going to actually probably be your superpower. We had a guest on not too long ago who was a poet, and she was talking about mode of survival. See, what is your mode of survival? You know, what is it that you do every day to push your vision and to push your life forward? And so I'm just saying to you that please live your life on purpose. We have to have a reason to get up every morning. And so when you live life on purpose, you do that and make it a habit. So it's not so hard. I mean, I go to bed around 11, I wake up around 5 or 6. And again, I don't use an alarm clock because for me it's habit. So what I'm saying to you is that maybe make one of your habits self-talk. You know, talk positive to yourself, elevate yourself. And if you do that, you will have the life that you imagine for yourself. Because I think imagination is very, very important. And so we moving now to the food for thought segment, and in that food for thought, we're talking about high performance habits, how extraordinary people become that way. And this is from a book by Brendon Burchard, who was the author and a life coach. And basically, in his book, High Performance Habits, How Extraordinary People Become That Way, he talks about 6 habits. And we're not going to be able to get into all of them, but I just want to have just a general discussion. And so the 6 habits are this. And there's 3 in the personal realm, and there's 3 in the social realm. So in the personal realm of the 6 habits, personal, seek clarity, okay? Make the vision plain. Seek clarity. Number 2, generate energy. Energy is a habit. You know, you get yourself pumped up in the morning, you go and you take your shower, whatever you got to do to get yourself going, you know? And number 3, raise the necessity for exceptional performance. Not just performance, but exceptional performance. And so of the 6 habits, the first 3, seek clarity, generate energy, raise the necessity for acceptable performance. And in the social area, increase productivity. Okay, you're not going to be happy if you don't produce something. You know, I like to, when I go to bed at night, I like to review my day. What did I produce in this day? What did I do that was productive? The next point is develop influence. And what he means by that is that have an impact on someone's life. You know, have somebody to say, you know what, I really watched this show, Poetically Speaking, and Terry and Ron, they said some things that I could really use. I can't use everything, but there's some things they said to me that helps me. And so again, we try to develop influence. And the last thing here, demonstrate courage. Demonstrate courage. Take that idea to the next level. Develop an action plan and get that thing done, okay? Because courage is contagious. When you see somebody doing something that is courageous, you know, a lot of times we talk about the people on American Idol and auditions. And you know, and I know you've seen some auditions, these people are terrible. What made you think that you could become American Idol? But what I found out is that I like to watch a lot of these auditions because sometimes a person can come on one year and not make it. But they might come back the next year and guess what? They become a contestant. Now, I'm not saying they become American Idol, but they actually have improved. And so again, habits are us. Habits make or break us. And so again, the 6 habits: see clarity, generate energy, raise the necessity for acceptable performance, increase productivity, develop influence, and demonstrate courage. And so, my brother, I'm just going to throw it open, and you can do whatever you will with this, these habits.
You know, I have a dream.
Yes.
And we know with Dr. King, but
Let's
even
go
long
back,
before
all the way
him,
back.
he had a dream
Ooh, yes,
that
yes.
one day
Yes, one day.
I'm going to get to the mountaintop.
That's right.
I may not get there when you get there, but I've been there.
That's right.
Because he had a dream.
That's right.
He had a vision.
Vision.
And that's what's important, no matter how you look at
That's
it.
right.
But I want to also step back a second.
Yes, please.
And the song I always think of, it's in my head,
Yeah.
which was What Becomes of a Broken Hearted.
Ooh, yes. What becomes of
David
broken
Ruffin
heart?
sang it, but
That's
his
right.
brother Jimmy Ruffin wrote it.
That's it.
And so
What
when you're
becomes
talking
of a
about
broken-hearted?
the whole world is a stage,
Yes.
the whole world is a stage. Life is a stage. As long as you are breathing, you're living, you're walking, you're crawling, as long as you're doing something, this whole space all around us is a stage. What are you doing? You don't have to have an audience around you, but the audience that really applauds you is all of creation,
That's right.
all of your life.
That's right.
I have a dream.
Yes, I
you
have
can
a
stay
dream.
in your backyard, outside, wherever, and talk to the trees. The trees are swaying, do this and that and the other. The sun shine, the moon glow, the stars sparkle.
That's right.
But do you have a dream?
That's right. What's
That's
your
what's important.
dream? What's your dream?
You are
What's your passion?
American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
This is a stage.
That's right.
You don't have to be on TV.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is create your own platform on American Idol. You can tell somebody, I am American Idol because I'm here.
That's
What you mean? You can dance, you can sing, you can do this. You know, too many get out there and they want to shake and get on TV, social media, whatnot.
Yeah.
But why get out there and showboat when you could just be natural and say, look, you know, back in the day, I know when I was growing up, you know, when I was raising my kids, we'd be home, we'd dance ahead to the old school, dance and whatnot,
That's
because
right.
it felt
That's right.
good.
It felt good.
So I am American Idol on this world stage.
That's right. That's
You
right.
don't have to be accepted by a man who put something together.
Mm-hmm.
God has created that stage for you.
That's right. That's
No
right.
matter where you go.
Yes.
That's what's important. And the other thing in
Wow.
short,
Ooh.
this is in short, not getting into it, but I just want to present this.
Mm-hmm.
America's first freedom rider.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hear me, and I want to be very clear.
Please.
This
please.
doesn't take away, as we pretty much know, Rosa Parks.
Mm-hmm.
Before Rosa Parks, there was Claudette Colvin.
Mm.
1947, if I'm not mistaken. She was like a teenager then.
Wow.
Before her, this book I have just presented to you, you know, America's first freedom rider, it was a young lady back in 1850 something. Now, back in 1850, so when we talk about, you know, refusing to get off and those who are pushing you against your will, look at the history. And again, we're not taking away from Rosa Parks, but your history takes you all the way back to the beginning of time when they shackled you. Does anybody today know your story? I was shackled against my will. I was enslaved.
That's right.
But the point is, even with those conditions, they saw in their mind, they had a vision, they had hymns to see freedom. We talk about this all the time. They have freedom. I have a dream. You know, Harry Tubman had a dream.
That's
I'm going to be free.
That's right. That's right.
What are you doing today to be free in your writing, your thinking, your singing, your acting, no matter what it is, your freedom to express, to collaborate, to enjoy life, enjoy it, and have it abundantly. That's what's important. So I just wanted to bring those because that's what's important.
It is. Yeah. And the thing is, we're getting ready to close out the program, but I just wanted to just make a special note. Our engineer this evening is Patricia, and Patricia was with Norm from the beginning of this idea for the studio. And our brother had the privilege of being a DJ on WPIX Channel 11. They have DJ Fridays, and Storm Norm, the General, was the featured guest. And I tell you, Ron, he did a great job. I was just watching it, and I was like, oh, man, that's my brother. That's my brother. He's doing his thing. But the thing for me is that I just discovered this particular studio not too long ago. But when I discovered they were in the studio like for 12 years. So that's 12 years of history that they've been doing this, and it's probably even longer. But the point I'm making is that because of Patricia, because of Norm, we are here, and we are presenting our program to you. But it started with a dream, a vision that they had, and I'm thankful. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for being on this platform. And so we just want to give a special shout out to Patricia, a special shout out to Norm, and also a special shout out to the other hosts that are on this BKS1 platform. And in our program, we're going to bring on some of the other co-hosts and hosts, but we're also going to be on other programs. So you may see me on another program. It's all in the family. And because it's all in the family, I feel that I've accomplished something. Because when I saw him, my chest was stuck out because you know what? That's my brother. It's part of my family. It's all in the family.
And you know, you never know. We say it all the time. You never know who you're going to meet, who's what, when. Because again, it was a surprise to me to have the names Trish and Norm and Jeff and Pierre and everybody else to have the opportunity to meet people we had no clue about. They are legend. They are history. That's what's important. You never know who's somebody's story. Everybody has a story. But I know we only have a few more minutes. If I may, I just want to read this. Find a little humor in it. But there's a reality in the sense. A mushroom's life. The life of a mushroom is one of the most potent natural herbs you can consume, extremely beneficial to the whole body. The healing properties of mushrooms can deliver powerful nutrients to the core of the mind, body, spirit, and emotional state, rejuvenating a sense of renewal. Feel the pleasure of how mushrooms can not only satisfy the taste, but also brings the transformation, shifting you from the decline of simply getting by living fully. Change the way you think and feel and experience what nature can instill in the heart of wisdom and knowledge. Life is what we can appreciate the cost of living. Mushrooms, do you enjoy them? The flavor they brings as a seasoning or the taste that penetrates the palate, reaching deep into the membranes of your soul. The various types of names, shapes, sizes, and colors of mushrooms, along with their image, are the healing properties created by God for the well-being of living beings. Mushrooms have names like you and I, whether foreign or domestic. They represent life regardless of their forms. The main benefit is what matters. And forgive me if I don't pronounce it right. Shatik, for clear, glowing skin, supporting your liver and lowering cholesterol. It is the most widely cultivated mushroom in the world. Mycelium is the root system of the mushroom. Turkey tail treats the common cold and flu, aids digestion, and help heal infections. Reishi, a queen of mushrooms, enables you to sleep better, stress less, and cure season allergies. Shaka, in action, is used for its anti-inflammatory properties and to protect the skin. Lion's mane improves memory, boosts concentration, and support your nervous system. Metake, I think, helps manage weight naturally, stabilizing blood sugar and improves digestion. Oyster, relax and lift your mood, improve skin quality, look younger, and lower cholesterol. Mushrooms are a globally trusted health resource. Although they are forage, they look like something from another world. The health benefits they provide are far beyond what their appearance suggests. Mushrooms. Are you a mushroom? Do you act like, talk, smell, think like one? Do you crave the desire for the soul? Or do you just live like you are foraging with no regard for the benefit it holds? These are just a few examples. There are a wide variety of mushrooms used around the world in many different forms, and the hidden treasure of a life-saving beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You may be surprised at what the ugly one can do for you.
Woo, woo, that's deep. And again, it goes back to the idea. It's an ancient idea, but it's true. Food is medicine. Okay, food is medicine. You look at the walnut, it looks like a little brain because brain health, almonds and the cashews, all these things really help you live a long and productive life. And so as we go toward the end of our program, I just want to leave you with this particular thought. Okay, today the program was living on purpose. Habits are us. And one of the things that I want to repeat, and if nothing else that you got from this evening, we went through a lot of things, okay? But I want you to write this down, and I want you to think about it. Put up on your wall someplace, and look at this every day, because this is something. It's an acronym, but it's also for me an affirmation, and it goes back to peace. And so I want to leave you with this: peace, positive energy activates constant elevation. Positive energy activates constant elevation. Every day is a gift, and every day you can be the better person that you were the day before. This has been Terry Benjamin, my brother here, Ronald C. McCray, Poetically Speaking.
And you can sing to that acronym. Do that again right quick.
Right. Positive energy activates constant elevation. Thank you for watching, and check us out next time. Yes.